to those who wait. Nearly 2 years it's taken. Prime Video's superhero series The Boys is returning to our screens for its long-awaited 3rd season.
Well, in just a moment, we'll be catching up with 2 of its stars, Chace Crawford and Karl. But first, let's take a look at what we can expect.
There's so much to talk
Didn't think
about.
that was going to happen.
Chace and Karl join us now. We'll talk about the fact
Welcome.
that, you know, you are fighting them and then you have to become one. That's in a minute. You were here, Chace, just as it launched, before any of us saw any of it.
Right, yeah.
And you were explaining, or trying to, what it was going to be.
Not easy.
I was trying. It was like 3 years ago, I think. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like trying to explain it. It's a little tough, right? To you know, to get all the parts in there, but it's.
Well, you did a good job, though, because, to be honest, sort of on paper, this is not my thing. You know, it's sort of superheroes, it's sort of based on DC's Justice League, but that's really where it ends.
Where it ends, yeah.
Because it's so far removed from that. It's definitely violent, but it's brilliant, and it hooked me in, and it's not my sort of thing. It's not for the kids.
Nice, not for the kids. Yeah, it's like Justice League meets a Tarantino film, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot, but it's awesome. So I'm glad you're a fan.
Well, you look
Yeah,
at the beginning of it, and whereas you normally get the sort of list of things that it's, you know, a little bit of this in here, so be careful, a little bit of this in it ticks every single box. It's violent, there's sex, there's nudity, there's God knows what. And this year, we're led to believe, this season, it's even more violent.
Well, I think everything across the board has been dialed up a little bit. Yeah, there's more action, there's more graphic content, but I think there was also, you dive deeper into the characters, it's got a lot more heart, it's got a lot more soul, and it's a lot more of a dynamic show. Like there's like a musical number, there's an animated sort of sequence. So, I mean, Kripke and the writers have just throwing so much at it. I can't
There's
wait.
a musical number?
There's musical number.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, it's great.
Let's talk about your character a little bit, the Deep, because
Right.
he's kind of been shunned by the Seven. I mean, Series 2 took him to all sorts of places that we can't even speak about here. Where do we find him? There seems a bit of a glimmer of hope for him slightly in this series.
Right, you know, yeah, I do love in season 2 we found him at a water park, you know, in Sandusky, Ohio, banished, you know, just screaming obscenities at children. He'd hit rock bottom and sort of went through his journey, you know, of self-discovery. So we don't know. I can't say if he gets back in the 7 or not, but he's definitely wanting to get back to that. Still trying to.
But he is, you know, it's as Holly said, it's dark. But you say that he's, you know, essentially he's insecure.
He's definitely insecure. Yeah, there's a big void there to fill. Hence the therapy and you know, the mushrooms and everything else. It's a lot. So.
And your character, Billy, like this sort of real vigilante character who seems to have this superpower of his own to convince anybody to go along with any of his kind of crazy plans. His story, a much more emotional touch to it, because there is this child, isn't there, that he finds himself being responsible for, which sort of goes against everything he's about in a way, because there's this connection with one of the Supes who's his nemesis.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the challenge for Butcher this season is how to, you know, destroy the monster without becoming the monster. And obviously he's made a promise to Becca to look after Ryan, and trying to juggle that responsibility with this insatiable quest for revenge. Something's got to give. But we had a lot of fun shooting it. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Well, the last thing I would have thought was that we were going to see lasers shooting out of his eyes.
Right.
You know, that was a big shock.
Yeah.
For you guys, though, to be a part of this, we talk about, you know, trying to set it up initially and not knowing what it is, and there you're nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah, right.
That's got to feel good.
The funniest thing, right? You're watching the Emmy nominations, and there's this prestigious crown and this royalty, and then you have Billy Butcher and the boys driving a speedboat into a whale.
Lucy the whale.
You know?
Yeah. It's a great moment. Yeah.
Did you think that it would get to this stage? Because I know you can't talk about it.
Right.
No one's really said anything, but there might be a season 4. There may be. Never know.
Never know.
But for you guys, that's got to be fun.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I remember getting the call. It was like last summer, and I thought it was a joke. I had no idea we'd be nominated for an Emmy, but it was a great moment to have with the crew and everyone after a tough year. So it was, it's awesome, yeah.
And there's new characters this time? We've got some new soups?
We do. We have some new soups this season. Wonderful Jensen Ackles has come on board. Lauren Holden as well, and they knock it out of the park. You know, they came in and I think really helped everybody elevate their game.
Absolutely.
Did you get any input into your suit? Because I think, like, any kid, like the inner kid within would be like, I could design my superhero suit.
It's the only outfit I got. It's very warm, but yeah, it's like one big wetsuit. So I thought I'd be doing more action, but it's me, you know, kind of in a therapy, therapist's office, or just kind of coming out of the water a little bit. So yeah.
And away from that, Sea Beast. That's right. a new thing that you've done, isn't it?
That's right. I did during the lockdown. I did a animated movie for Netflix. It's going to be out, I think, July 8th, and it's cool. The story of the sea beast hunter whose life is turned upside down when he discovers a stowaway on board his ship. It's a lot of fun, and the animation is incredible. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
And the kids can watch that one.
Kids can watch that one.
Talking of kids watching things, you were a kid when you were watching Phil in New Zealand on Shazam.
This is right. He doesn't want me to talk about this.
I don't mind.
Massive. I'm fanning out on you at the moment. When I was just a young kid, 10 years old, I used to watch Shazam, which was a music video thing. It was before interweb.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'm like, what is
That's
that?
how you got your music fix, you know. And Phil was great. It was great.
Yeah,
awesome.
that was quite a long time ago. That's where I started. That's where
Yeah.
I started. It's Shazam's fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It is its fault.
Long time ago.
Guys, thank you. It's lovely
Yeah,
to see
it's
you.
great.
Yeah, great to see you.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Give my love to New Zealand when you
I will.
get back there.
Always welcome back.
It's a magnificent country, especially to start in as well.
Yeah.
And now the film industry there is incredible.
Right.
Yeah, incredible, right? I mean, what has been built up there over the last 20 years is world class, and you know, I feel very blessed and privileged to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely,
So,
guys.
as we
Thanks for
said, The Boys, Series 1 and 2 are all on Prime, and Series 3 is June the 3rd. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.